How is it going, everyone? It's Johnny Beard here with another episode of the Streamer Stories podcast. My guest today is an absolutely wonderful being. It's Curly. Hello, hello. There you are.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Apart from
Awesome.
time zones, we got this done, though. We got this done. Let's go.
Don't you love a good time zone?
I love time zones. I don't know about you, but before I was a streamer, I didn't even consider time zones.
I did because I used to work in finance, and so I used to work with like multiple time zones all at the same time. But that was the only time I ever did it.
Do you have one of those like rooms with a load of clocks on?
No, but I feel like now that I say that, I feel like I should actually like I'm looking above my setup. I'm like maybe I should have multiple clocks above here with the different times for different places. That would be hilarious.
The ultimate hack that streamers don't know they need.
Right.
But Curly, thank you so much for being part of the Streamer Stories podcast.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm so excited to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
I've been following your streaming for, I don't even know how long, but I've been aware of you probably about 2 years. But like in terms of like following, like probably about a year to 18 months, I think. Again, just from afar, you're amazing.
I've only been streaming for like 2 years.
Have you? Oh, so maybe from the beginning then. Oh, goodness me. Wow, really? What? Oh my God, you're an absolute natural.
I started in 2022. I started in May 2022.
No. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first thing that I learned today. Oh my good God. I can't wait to learn more about you. That's for sure. Okay, let's rewind. Let's rewind. So, let's talk about. Do you want to introduce yourself for those who don't know who you are, and then we'll start
Sure.
talking
Yeah,
about
I'll do
childhood.
my standard like, hi, I'm Curly. As people raid into my channel, but no, hi, I'm Curly. So I used to be a ballet dancer. I was a ballet dancer for 30 years, and as I said 2 years ago, I quit dance because I moved from my hometown to where I am now. And in doing so, for my current job that I have, and in doing so, I lost the ability to perform. And so I needed an outlet, and I started streaming. Actually, because my husband started streaming, and he hated it, and I took it over, and I really, really liked it. So that's how I found about Twitch at all. I had no idea what it was until like he started doing it. So, and so I stream a lot of first-time playthroughs because I didn't really get a chance to play a lot of games growing up because I was in a dance studio most of the time.
Wow.
But I've always loved video games.
Incredible. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Oh, I can't wait to talk to you. Okay, so in terms of games then, growing up then, so let's start from the beginning. So do you like have any like first time memories? Never mind playing them, like seeing video games. What comes to mind?
Yeah. I actually, so one of the first things I remember is having a Sega Genesis growing up. And so I have an older brother, and my brother and I would, true to sibling form, bicker over who would be playing the systems. But we had like this old TV that we would set up. We had Sega Genesis, and of course we played Sonic.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And I have very fond memories and also traumatic memories from the sound of drowning in Sonic, in which my chat likes to bully me with. So thanks, chat. And I just remember playing that in my parents' room with my dad, with my brother, and it was just like the three of us hanging out and playing that together, and it was just a really, really good time. My mom never understood video games, so it was always just the three of us.
That's so nice. That's so wholesome.
Yeah.
So did you do like single player Sonic, 2-player Sonic? What did you?
We would do 2-player and then single player as well, but like I don't really remember that as much. The biggest memory I have about video games is honestly my brother and I waking up at 2 a.m. on Christmas morning and playing video games like Tetris and Zelda together on the various systems that we had as we grew up. So like that is more of a fonder memory that I have of video games, and like where they really like were holding dear to me was just playing them with my brother when I was younger.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. I love hearing about Christmas memories about video games.
Yeah.
we did a special episode on the podcast about it once. So, oh yeah, I love it. So it's such a special time, isn't it? So you did it from
really
2
is.
a.m.
We would both wake up, and then every hour on the hour, we would try and get my parents up to go get gifts in the morning. Because, my family, we open Christmas gifts the morning of Christmas.
Yes.
So, we would always do the routine of like, we got to check if Santa dropped off our gifts. And so we would go in almost every hour on the hour and try to get my parents up. And then around like 4 a.m., like around 4 or 5 a.m., my parents would like get so frustrated they'd be like, give us another hour. So we would give them an hour around 6 a.m. every time. We would wake them up on the dot, and my mom would be livid. But no, that was a fond memory. So yeah, we would like constantly pester them to wake them up because we were so excited about Christmas morning and Christmas gifts and stuff.
Oh, that's so. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
It was really fun. It was a fond memory, but no, yeah, we would wake up at like 1 or 2 in the morning and do that.
Wow. Goodness
And
me.
we'd be playing video games and like just hanging out and giggling and trying to see whether or not we could sneak downstairs somehow. And yeah,
Oh, I love it. I love hearing that. That's amazing. So
it
let's
was
talk
fun.
about the Genesis then. So you play Sonic?
Oh
Anything
God.
else? Anything else that comes
I
to
don't
mind?
remember. I
No.
remember vividly Sonic. But like I remember when that was happening, I was probably around like 5 or 6. So like I remember it, but I don't have a lot of vivid memories of having the Genesis.
Yeah.
I think my parents still have the Genesis in their basement.
Hey, nice. Yay.
But that was the first system that I vividly remember having that we would play together, and it was just that was something like the very first system that we got. But I vividly remember playing Sonic. I don't remember anything else, and I just remember I think I barely got through like the second level of Sonic
Oof, yeah.
because I was like a child.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, yeah.
It's a hard game.
It's.
Oh, actually, I remember the Aladdin game.
Oh yes.
I remember the Aladdin game and the Aladdin game. Oh, getting out of the tunnel with the lava,
Yeah.
wave coming at you and having to skip over. Yeah, I just remember that and that being insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
I played Aladdin. Well, I played Aladdin as a kid as well, but I didn't complete it. And I do this thing on my streams. I do retro Sundays, and it's like, right, we can play Aladdin, guys. Okay, I've got to beat it. I've got to beat this Aladdin game. It's been
did
like
you?
with save states, yes, because it's so hard. That lava
So
sequence is
hard.
ridiculous.
That lava sequence is probably one of the hardest parts in video games. It literally puts Melania to shame.
Yeah, yeah. I feel you. I totally feel you. Oh
Oh
yeah.
my God. That lava sequence. I feel like that's what we need to do. We need to take Dark Souls players and see how them completing that freaking lava level.
Yeah. That needs to be a crossover. I think we need to get retro streamers that played those games when they were a kid, not played Dark Souls. Get them to play Dark Souls. And then we should get people who are veterans at Dark Souls play like Aladdin and
Oh my
all of
God,
that
the
stuff.
Lion King game. I don't think I ever completed the Lion King. I don't think I completed Aladdin.
No, man. I've not played Aladdin. Sorry, Lion King. I just know it's like apparently worse. Apparently it's worse. Apparently it's worse. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the part where you had to like jump on the giraffes, but that's about it from that. And I don't think I think I put it down because I was like, this is too fucking hard.
Oh man, goodness. So you played Tetris.
Goodness.
You played a bit of
A lot. I played Tetris a lot.
Okay.
I love Tetris. Oh my God, I love Tetris.
Do you still play Tetris as a downtime type of game now?
I do. I do. I
Yay.
vividly remember playing Tetris on our Game Boy, and I had the cool Game Boy, the big Game Boy. I had like the vintage old school Game Boy, the big one that was the clear out shell. And so like you could
Nice.
see the inner workings of the Game Boy,
I
and I
love
thought that
that.
I was so cool because I had that Game Boy. Um, and I played a lot of Tetris. I don't remember my high score, but I knew I would crush everybody that would challenge me at Tetris because it's just so nice when those little blocks click into place and you're like, oh. And you get the 5 line clear. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah. There's no
There's
better
something
feeling.
satisfying about Tetris. It's like the OCD's person's just dream.
Yeah.
I love Tetris. Yes.
I am.
And the classic music. Do 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 do.
It's incredible. It
It's
is.
just so good.
Yeah. I mean, I always remember. I work for a charity. We do a lot of like collections and stuff like that for like donations and stuff. So we offer like van drivers and stuff. And they always say you got to pack your van like Tetris. It comes in handy in real life, guys. Knowing how to
It
play
does.
Tetris.
It really, really does. You know what else it's really good for? shopping bags. So I used to work at Trader Joe's, and I used to say that I was a queen at Tetris, and so I could pack shopping bags like none other business.
Nice. Oh, my wife hates me for shopping bags. So yeah. No, you
You
did it
gotta
wrong.
do the
I'm sorry.
Tetris method.
Yeah, I clearly. I've never talked to my wife
Clearly.
about Tetris, so maybe she's a obscure Tetris queen that I'm not familiar with as well.
You should definitely see her. I guarantee she's going to probably be better than some of the fastest players on Tetris. She's good at shopping bags.
I think so. I think she'd smash me at Tetris, that's for sure. Oh, nice. So Game Boy. I mean, what again? What? Oh, yeah. Any other Game Boy
Classic system.
classics that you used to play?
You know, I don't remember classics, but I do remember I remember Pokemon,
Yes.
and I used to beat every Pokemon game, and I would crush them. I crushed those games so hard. I started off with Red, and my brother had Yellow. So then I did Red. Then I played Yellow. Then I played Silver. Then I don't remember any of the other gen ones that came out, but I just remember I would like crush them because they were just so satisfying to go around and catch the Pokemon and all of those different. Oh, so good. And then I remember having to figure out how to like get around the random encounter people so that way I wouldn't be annoyed by them as I'm like trying to traverse the maps and being like, no, I don't want to battle you and your little Weedle again. Look, I'm going to crush you. Just let me have the 5 seconds to get around you instead.
Man. Okay. Yeah.
Old school maps, such good times. Such good times.
Oh.
But no, those were probably some of my favorite. And I didn't so because I was always in dance stuff, I didn't play a lot of games growing up. And so I have like patchy memories of specific games and specific games that really hold dear to me. Like Pokemon, I think was one of those ones. And I think we all were like, I remember when they started the Pokemon crate trading cards and all those different things. And then like when the games came out, I lost it. Like I loved the video game of it because I got to be a Pokemon trainer. And I remember having vivid dreams about how like I really wanted to have an actual legit Pokemon. Like I just wanted a Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I wish I want to live in a Pokemon world. Just please. Let me live in
I
Pallet
just
Town.
want to be the very best, the best there ever was.
Absolutely, yeah. Just want me, Pallet Town, some local neighbours that I get on with. Maybe selected people in my life. That I
want
hold dearly. Yeah.
At the tender age of 12, I want to leave my family's house and go catch Pokemon.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that because that's normal.
That's normal.
At the mature, highly intellectual, fully aware of life and the world around us.
Totally.
12-year-old, yeah.
Totally can fend for yourself, 12-year-old. Just go out into the world.
Walking into
with
the mountains.
Dangerous monsters.
Yeah, dangerous monsters, walking into the mountains and meeting random older men, strangers to Pokemon battle with. Yeah, totally normal.
By yourself. At night, in the dark.
That you're forcing your Zubat to use as a flash of light.
My God. Traveling, I remember when like you would have to like search, they didn't give you a light and you had to search for one.
Yeah.
Games used to be so much harder. Like you couldn't go into places, or if you did, you would like die.
Yeah. Oh God.
Instantaneously. But I also wonder, like, you ever think about how like in Pokemon, whenever you fainted, they were like, "Oh no, he's down. We're not gonna finish him." Unlike literally every other game, if you faint, they're like, "We're gonna just finish you on the floor. You're dead." But no, not the 12-year-old that's traveling through the woods. We can't do that. We just need to have him faint, and then it's good.
Yeah, have him faint and take half his money off him. Yeah.
There you go. I forgot about that.
This has robbed this poor 12-year-old.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I forgot about that. Oh man.
Good
Jeez,
times.
I
Good
totally
times.
forgot about that.
Oh,
The poor 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And then he would have to like battle adults.
Yeah.
Like he was up against Team Rocket, like all of these adults.
Criminals. Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
God.
Pokemon be Pokemoning, that's for sure. Yeah.
Oh man.
So did you have like any Pokemon favorites? Did you have anyone who was your part of your team quite a lot?
Uh, okay. Charmander is ultimately my favorite. I love Charmander. Like
Yeah.
I'm a fire Pokemon person all the way. But I was really one of the things the reasons why I used to crush those games was because I figured out early weaknesses towards Pokemon. So like, I remember it being in the show talking about how like while I was watching the show as a kid and I would play the game, and I remember in the show they would talk about how like Ash went to get, the Boulder badge, and he he only had Pikachu, and he couldn't really like do anything because Pikachu was basically weak against rock
Yeah.
types and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
wasn't very effective towards rock types. And so I remember that, and I remember being like very vividly trying to set up my Pokemon party based off of the gym I was about to go into. And I would have like one of each type. I don't remember the exact setup, but I always had Charmander in my party, or whatever the fire starter Pokemon was always the one that I went with.
Yeah.
Like Cyndaquil, I think was the one that's
Yeah.
after that. Loved Cyndaquil, loved all of the fire starter Pokemons. And I've always done like, I'm going to start with fire. Like I even when the new ones came out, I even got like Ruby or instead of Sapphire because it was like
Right.
fire.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Nice.
So I love like fire Pokemons, and it's just always like resonated with me. Even though they're not like great against all types, but they're pretty decent against
Yeah.
most types of Pokemon, except for water. Like they're trash against water.
Of course. Absolutely.
So like I always changed my team up based off of like what I caught and what I was getting. And then I would evolve I would grow the Pokemon to be what I wanted them to be. So I don't remember my vivid party that I had back in the day. But I definitely remember I would have like a grass type, a bug type, and all the different types. So that way I was like set. So I could go to the next gym and like crush them. And it was so satisfying. Victory Lane, I think, or Victory Road or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That took me a while because that one's really hard.
Yeah.
But it was just so good, such good times.
So what we'll learn today is Curly would be the fire gym leader. Obviously, after she defeated the Elite Four, she would then take
I
over.
would crush it.
Yeah, she'd crush everyone and be the eighth gym leader or whatever. Fire Pokemon only. Get good, Scrubs.
Get good.
Yeah, get good.
Come at me, bruh.
Wow. Oh, incredible. So, whatever games did you play? Whatever consoles did you play as a kid? How much of it was...
So the other obsession that I had growing up was Zelda.
Okay. Nice.
Zelda was a huge thing for me, and I loved it. I remember so I played a lot of Game Boy and Nintendo games because that was the systems that I grew up with. We had like, after we had the Sega Genesis, we got Xbox, after the Sega Genesis, we really got like Game Boys, like any sort of variation of Game Boys. I remember getting like the Game Boy Color, the regular Game Boy, the Game Boy that had like the flippy open thing. I think I still have one in my closet. And then we also got the N64, and N64 was one that I played a lot of relentlessly. And I didn't really play, after N64, I didn't really play a lot of console games. I played more computer games, like kind of like what was it? Like Diablo and stuff like that. Growing up, but going back, I really played a lot of like the Zelda games. Like I loved Zelda. Link's Awakening was one that I used to play so much as a kid, and what was crazy about it was we had a corrupted game.
Okay.
And it didn't actually save. So I had to complete the game in one sitting, or I wouldn't be able to play it, or I'd have to start like all over. So it was basically like doing a deathless run.
Yeah. Without realizing it. Oh my god.
Without realizing it. So I had to play it. I think I finished it. I don't remember. But like I just remember that game being so difficult in general because it's just so convoluted and so many puzzles, but I loved the puzzles.
Yeah.
And so then like when Ocarina of Time came out, that game was beautiful. That game like literally morphed my view of gaming in general, and just like really gave me an appreciation for Zelda, the lore behind Zelda, all of those things. And then I switched over to Majora's Mask and stuff like that, and I got really obsessed in understanding the Zelda timeline, the Zelda lore, the Zelda story, because that was the first time I think I really got into a game that had so much story outside of Pokemon, but
Yeah.
that was it was kind of like given to you, whereas
Yes.
the Zelda one, you implied it from a lot of the surroundings. You implied how Link came out who he was, because like you don't get an inkling to who Link is. You just know that he's just kind of like this kid,
Yeah.
kid that doesn't have a fairy, who grew up in like a fairy town, like where all of these people had fairies, and he was the only one who didn't. He was lonely. He was made fun of. He was kind of picked on a little bit because of
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
But you didn't know anything about him. You didn't know his parents. You didn't know his origins, anything. Like, it's kind of like a nameless kid. He doesn't talk. So it's kind of so interesting when you get this character who slowly morphs into a hero. And through that, you learn about, the magic system. You learn about the creatures, the things that have morphed into the society through experiencing and going through the journey of it. And that was the first time I ever really experienced a game that had that kind of storyline, and that story that was like there, but it wasn't really given to you in a way that was like, here's the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literally like it was presented to you, and I ate it up. I ate up the timeline, the different versions of Zelda, and how Link and Zelda like come together, how all of these games kind of unseemingly link together. Link.
Hey.
And I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with that timeline and how it went together. And I will say, like, and I will fight people on this. Wind Waker's the best one. I will fight people on this. I will fight me. Come at me.
My comment section.
Wind
right
Waker's
now.
Wind Waker is amazing. I freaking love Wind Waker. Right after that would be Majora's Mask. And then very, very close under that is and I know everybody's gonna hate me for the next statement that I say. Right under that is Ocarina of Time, but I will say my least favorite, and this is where your comment section is gonna go wild.
Here we go.
I hate Twilight Princess.
Okay. Yeah.
Not because of the story, not because of anything else, other than when I played it on the original Wii.
Oh, okay.
And I hated doing the carriage. What actually made it was my first ever game that I rage quit.
Oh, wow.
And then
Okay.
my brother sold it.
Okay.
Finish it. So I remember the riding carriage that's like you have to help this princess get through this section, and all of these little pygmy people are on their little boars following you and throwing fire at the carriage, so you had to stop the princess, and you're trying to do it on a Wii controller as you're like controlling the horse and trying to do the arrows, and the screen is going all over the place. Like, I hated that game. I hated that so freaking much. I've been told that I should try and play it actually on a controller now and
Okay.
see that it's actually a good game, but I hated that, and I hated that thing so much.
I mean,
It was infuriating.
you were playing it as it was meant to be played, to be fair. Like, you have a
know.
good reason to dislike it.
I hated that so much.
Oh, man. Yeah.
The idea was brilliant, but like, I will say, and I know people hate Skyward Sword, but Skyward Sword did a much better job at utilizing the Wii component.
I've heard, yeah. I've only played
Thank
Ocarina
you.
of Time, to be honest. I played it last year on stream. My first Zelda experience proper, because I didn't have many Nintendo
did you think?
games. I really did enjoy it. I really did. And everyone's like, oh, what are you going to play next? What are you going to play next? And I'm like, I don't know. I've heard, like, I was going to aim towards a Majora's Mask. But I don't know. I've heard Wind Waker
Do
as
it.
well now. So
I would
I'm
do-
not sure.
Because of the fact that you just finished Ocarina of Time, I think Majora's Mask is a great one to go into next because it's right along that storyline.
Right, yeah. And the controls are similar and stuff, I've heard, aren't they?
Controls
So,
are similar,
yeah.
and it's just like a really, and like, it's basically like, so I don't know if you know about the Link timeline and how it causes a split,
I've
how
heard.
Ocarina of Time caused the split.
Yeah, I've heard, yeah.
And it's kind of that kid split that happens with Majora's Mask. And you're basically playing the character that you played when you did Ocarina of Time. So I think it's a good one
Okay. There we go.
to go with next. Yeah.
Thank
There you go.
Kelly. Thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah. Okay. So, thank you for sharing that. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
I do need to. I need to play more Zelda. I know. I'm gonna have to probably start lining up my next one, to be honest with you. But I don't know when. There's too many games. There's too many games. But yeah, it's on my list.
Literally felt. I literally felt that so much.
Yeah.
There's just too many games.
There's just too many games. I mean, I just want all the cats. I just want all the games. I just want all the games. It's not enough time.
The streamer paralysis thing is just rough.
Yeah. Oh man. No.
Yeah.
So what?
Like looking at all the games and like just
Oh yeah, like my Steam library. Like no, I don't want to look at it. No, doesn't exist.
And then the new games that are coming out of them on top of it. Like,
yeah. It's like stop. Just pause.
Stop. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
So you mentioned playing Diablo, I think you said, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you played you went into like a PC route then, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I play a lot of Diablo. Like I played Diablo 1, I played Diablo 2, and I also played StarCraft because I loved the battle component of that and like the strategy component of that. But I really, really liked Diablo. Again, another one that actually had a really good story that was not spelled out to you. And Diablo has a really special place in my heart because I remember my brother and I used to play that too. And it's such a good game. It's such a really, really good game. And that was like at the dawn of when PC gaming started really becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool. I remember loving that game so much, and that you got to like choose your character, and such a good game.
Nice.
It scared the shit out of me, but I loved it.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Did you play much else on PC as well, or?
Not really. I didn't really start PC gaming until I started streaming.
Gotcha.
So like,
yeah.
I played those games, and then I took a really, really long break from like hardcore gaming when I was in college and stuff like that, and starting off in my school and stuff. And I would play games here and there, but it was nothing really serious. And I didn't really have a chance to experience a lot of games growing up because I was always in a dance studio. I was always doing school. I was always doing so many other things that like even when I played those games, it was for like a small pocket of time, and very few of them did I actually finish. And like I remember, I think when I was like in middle school, I stopped really playing many games, unfortunately. And I think there was like only one game I remember vividly picking up and being like, yeah, this is awesome, and that was Portal 2.
Oh.
And that wasn't until college.
Oh yes, what a game!
What a game! What a game!
Yeah.
What a
Did you play the first one as well, or just the second one?
I did.
Nice.
I did play the first one as well, which is harder than the second one. Oh my god.
Oh, what a game! Yeah. Talk to us about Portal 2, please.
I love it. I love Portal 2. Portal 2, and I've heard people tell me that it's overrated, and I was like, "You're overrated."
If you're one of those people, get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Just leave.
And subscribe to both of us.
No, I love Portal 2. Portal 2 is so much fun. It is such a good game, and it really actually I think is what brought me back to gaming.
Sure.
Because I remember playing that, and I was like, I would have pockets of time when I wanted to play it, and I was so obsessed with it. It's like, these are such good puzzles. This is such a funny story. GLaDOS made everything just so funny, and then it's just like, I like seeing her character morph, and not to do spoilers, but like, and then the ending of it was so brilliant about how you defeated the final boss, and I was just like, oh my god, I love this game. And just thinking about it gives me chills. 'Cause it's just like, and like all of the different gels and stuff that you integrate into it. It's just such a beautifully done game, and it's really what brought me back to gaming. Was that actually at the time I was dating. At the time that I had finished that, I was I was dating somebody who actually designed video games, so I'd play video games with him too. So yeah, that was a good time, and it's really like that kind of, and that was like in college that started me back into video games. But again, I didn't really have time to play them because I was so busy with life that I never sat down and actually took the time to play it. So it wasn't until streaming that I really actually was like, I started it because I was like, I have a lot more time now that I did not dancing. Let me play video games and actually have a designated time of when I can play video games for myself.
Yeah, amazing.
So that's what really got me into streaming because I was like, I love games and I've never forced myself to actually play them.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is genuinely, for me, I genuinely think it is the funniest game ever made. Like, it's so funny. Just
It just
stupidly
has
funny.
such like
It doesn't stop.
iconic one-liners that
Yeah.
are just like that just fill you with such dark humor joy and you're
Yes.
like, yeah,
I just
cake
love.
is a lie.
I just love what I love listening to Wheatley. No spoilers, obviously, but just let him talk. Just don't. He asks you
Yeah.
to do something. Don't do it. Just
Don't do
let him.
it.
Just continue
Just
to.
don't do it.
He's got so many lines.
He's got
It's
so many
unreal.
lines.
And they're all funny.
And like they're hilarious. Wheatley is hilarious. No spoilers, but like GLaDOS, when you kind of like are with her, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. Like Wheatley is probably the best though. Like
Oh yeah.
they did a stand-up job with that character. They really, really did.
I remember when the game came out. Again, being from the UK, like Stephen Merchant was kind of like quite popular here in the UK as a comedian and part of The Office and stuff like that. And then when I heard Stephen Merchant was going to be in Portal, I was like, what? That's weird. And then he did such an incredible job that to the point that people think, I don't think there's an Oscars for a video game, but if there is one, he needs it. And it's like, I totally agree. Like, it's so
Did he
good.
ever win anything for his performance from that?
I
Because there's so
don't
many
think
like
so.
game awards now. Because
Right.
that's unfortunate. It
Yeah.
was such a beautifully done game. And I think like the first game did a really good job about like bringing GLaDOS and making her funny. And then the second game, as soon as they added Wheatley, it was just like, this is great. This is so hilarious. This just made my day. Like I implore people to just do stupid stuff in that game.
Dig deep, do whatever you want. Follow the
Do
story
whatever you
eventually,
want.
but that's secondary. No, the story is equally as good, but yeah.
Especially when you get like I mean, I don't feel like this is too spoiler really. When you start to actually get an insight into the history of Aperture,
Yes.
that was really cool. That was like really one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you talk about Zelda again and how that game kind of like, didn't just give it to you on a plate and that you kind of had to, the more you dug, the more you got out of the experience. Like Portal's again a great example of that.
Yeah, yeah, and like even Elden Ring is a great example of that. There's a story in that game and people don't realize it. Like it's more than just what people think. Like even in the DLC, and this is going to be a spoiler, so I apologize. Like the fact that you actually visit where Marika grew up is kind of cool. And I don't think people realize or recognize, even when they get to the place, that's what it is. It's really cool. So I love games that don't tell you everything, and that you get to hunt for it and you get to piece it together, and it's like a puzzle wrapped into like storytelling, and it's beautiful.
100%. 100%.
And it's only games that can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, no other medium can really do that as well because you have to dig it out. You have to go to those optional places where you can't really do that with a film that's 120 minutes long and stuff like that, or a book that's, X amount of pages. You read it from start to
Tabletop
finish.
RPGs, that's the only other way that you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Tabletop
artful.
role playing is like literally the only place that you can actually do that as well.
I
But
love
even
video
that,
games.
yeah. Yeah, me too.
Speaking of, we're doing a podcast about video games. What are you currently playing at the moment, Curly? And whatever you're playing, are you playing it online, offline? What's your ratio?
Okay. This is kind of embarrassing with how many games I'm playing right now.
Okay, go for it.
I'm still finishing Elden Ring. I just started Wukong, which is amazing, and I love it. I am going to be starting the new Star Wars game today because, like, thanks Ubisoft for gifting me that. This is not an ad for Ubisoft, I swear. I'm playing Crime Scene Cleaner, which I'm literally obsessed with right now, which actually has a really good story to it too.
Hell yeah.
I got my husband obsessed with it too, and he loves it. I'm playing Stardew Valley. I'm playing Hades 2.
Oh my god, yes.
The ones I'm playing online right now, though, are Elden Ring and Wukong, and then obviously the Star Wars game. But like the other ones, I'm playing offline, and I'm just like alternating between them. And
Wow.
then I'm also playing Helldivers like a crap ton.
Oh my god. Wow. Yeah. I now understood why you were laughing whilst I was asking that question. I thought I said something weird.
It's just
Okay.
so funny. I like to think back, and I'm like, I didn't play video games, and it's like now I play all the video
Does that again? I'm
games.
thinking of memes. That Sabrina the Teenage Witch meme with all the spoons. That's curly right now.
Okay, in fairness, I have like a weekly pickup group for Helldivers that I do every Saturday night. It's me, my husband, and two of our close friends that we play every Saturday night after I do my streams on Saturday, and it's just literally a just cadence that we've always stuck to since it came out, since Helldivers 2 came out, and it's just so much fun. So it's just a few hours of us just hanging around and just killing bugs because the bots are stupid. I hate the bots.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've already talked a bit about hardest game. Is Aladdin the hardest game we've played, or do you want to throw another one into the mix?
Hardest game I've ever played. I would say Aladdin is definitely there. Um, Dark Souls 1 is traumatic for me. I
Okay.
played it for one stream and I cried.
Oh no. Oh, on stream?
Off stream.
Okay.
As soon as the stream ended, I cried.
Oh no.
But that was not just because of the game. I think the game is doable. It's just very, very difficult. But it was the community that really made me cry. It was
Oh.
that get good community
Ugh.
that that I literally like I don't allow the word get good in my stream. I've literally blocked it
Oh,
on
sorry.
a lot of different
We've said
ways.
that a couple of times today. Sorry.
Good.
Oh, okay. Good.
No, I don't mind it off of stream. It's mainly like I die and somebody's like, get good. And I'm like,
Yeah.
get out.
Yes. Yes. Basically. Very good. Very good. Very good.
So I've like, generally, like, I don't care about it off stream, but it's literally when people are like on the stream with me and they're like, their only advice that they can do if like I need help with something or I'm legitimately trying to work with the community to build it so that way we can work together on it. And they're like, yeah, you can get good. And I'm like, thank you for your non-help.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my worst experience of a game. And so I didn't actually play a FromSoft game. I was a baby streamer when I did that. And so although in the scheme of things, I still feel like I'm a baby streamer in terms of like my age of streaming,
Yeah.
not like my size of streaming.
Yes.
But I actually, this is the first year I had a goal for myself this year to actually play another FromSoft game. And so I chose Elden Ring, and I'm very glad I did because
Oh,
I love it.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So that's probably also really hard, but
Yeah.
in a different way.
I think I might have to get over my fear of it as well. I've played a little bit of Dark Souls when it came out. Not when it came out, like about a year or two afterwards. Played a little bit of Bloodborne, and I'm just like, I'm not good. I can't get good, but I need to like go right. JB, you're just going to have to just get over it and just
Do it.
Just
do
do
it,
it.
JP. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
So yeah, I'm sure my community would love that. So we'll maybe a 2025 goal for me is I'll sort
You're
that out.
welcome, guys.
Yes, you heard it here first.
No, my goal this year was to finish a FromSoft game.
Yeah.
And I haven't finished that game, but I will finish that game.
Yeah.
So I really, really like it, though. It's such a good game, and it's so beautifully done. So
Yeah.
it's something that I'm really impressed with. I think that there's a few things that I wish that the game had done differently, but I think the artistry of that game is just stunning and unlike any other game I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
I can't really complain that much.
No. So, Curly, if you were stuck on a remote island, and on
Okay.
that island, I'm sorry, you're going to be on that island for the rest of your life. I'm sorry. You can bring your husband. That's
It's
fine.
okay.
But you can only have 3 games on that island with you. You can play mods. You can play online. You can have DLCs, but only 3 games. What would those 3 games be, and why?
Ugh, this is such a hard question. Portal 2.
Nice.
Portal 2 is a given. Portal 2 is a given. I would
There's a lot of
definitely bring
mods
that.
with Portal 2 as well. If you did want to get a different experience out of it.
There are mods
Oh
for
yeah.
Portal 2.
Yeah. There's people have made custom levels and all sorts of stuff. So you can get quite a good amount out of Portal 2 modding.
What?
Mind blown.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Portal 2, definitely. I'm like debating between like 6 games right now.
All 6 games you're playing right now.
No. I would say I want to say I kind of want to say Elden Ring as another one
yeah.
in there. And right now I'm actually debating between Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker.
Oh, and it's a choice.
I know.
I've seen a lot of randomizers with Ocarina of Time.
I know. That's kind of why I feel like I could do different things with Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's a good choice. I think that's a great selection if you're going with. Well, I mean, if you're
Okay.
Wind Waker, it's also Wayne. Let's be honest, but yeah.
They're so good. But I think I would probably do Ocarina of Time. Like, as much as I love Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time is just such a beautifully done game, and it's just so cool. And I love the puzzles. I love, like, exploring it. Oh my god, speedrunning Ocarina of Time would be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can learn how to speedrun, do damage runs, do randomizers. Yeah.
It would just be such a good time. I would love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I
think those are the 3 games.
There was a small part of me that thought you were going to go with Tetris.
No. I love Tetris, but like I think those games I almost went with Stardew Valley, actually.
That's a great choice as well, let's be honest. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was debating between Stardew Valley and Elden Ring, which there's totally different games, but like I feel like with Elden Ring, it's definitely like there's so many more challenges you can do with it. Whereas like with Stardew, I have this issue that every time I get to a specific time in Stardew, I get overwhelmed and then I stop playing Stardew.
Oh, right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Like I've never finished Stardew.
Oh,
I've started it like 6 times, 6 million times.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So we talk about hard games. Let's talk about not so fun games. Like, is there any games you've played that you like? Not for me. It could be like a buggy mess, or it could be like just that you didn't vibe with it, or like what some of the not so good games that you've played?
So one that I've played recently, which I know people are going to get really upset with me for saying, and you know, I might try it again, but I could not stand the bugginess out of Red Dead Redemption
Okay.
2.
Right.
And it's probably because I played it on PC, and it's definitely meant for console, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get into it. It was just not something I liked, and I was just like, I wanted to really, really like it,
Yeah.
but the fact that it would crash, the fact that I had to use the launcher, the fact of all of these other issues with it, it just drove me up a wall, and I was like, it's not worth it to have to sit here and spend a quarter of my stream literally trying to get the game running.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I was like, this is awful. This is so stupid. Other games that I honestly feel like I haven't really hated a lot of games. I tried Dragon's Dogma 2 earlier this year.
Right. Yeah.
And I couldn't really get into it because the story is kind of weak. And I've been told that like I should try it again and I should give it another chance, but like I couldn't get into it. It was just like it's a drone.
That was a massive release, and it just kind of didn't it? I mean, there was a lot of negative reception when it came out as well. It's a shame. A lot of people were very excited for that.
Yeah, I was really excited for it too. I thought it looked really cool. And I've heard really good things about the first one, but it was just kind of like it kind of just droned on for me, and I just wasn't as like engaged in it. It just some of the combat was really cool. Some of the ways that you could do things were really cool, but it was like I don't know, like it was just really not exciting for me. Um, Also, you know what I just thought about from our last question?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Fallout. I freaking love Fallout. Why didn't I think of Fallout? My
yeah.
God.
Which one then? If you were to bring it onto an island.
New Vegas.
Yeah.
New Vegas. New Vegas is clutch.
Nice. Still haven't played Fallout yet. I
um,
played the Elder Scrolls games, but not played Fallout yet. That's on my list as well.
yeah.
And I'm
I'm trying
most
to
like
think what
free
other
or
games
Vegas,
did I.
free or New Vegas. I'm like, oh, I don't know which one to start with. So
Yeah. There was one game that completely offline I played, but I don't really want to say it because it's very inappropriate. And I don't really have a lot of games that I've never played that I haven't liked.
okay.
To be honest, like it's very hard for me to not like a game. Like it takes a lot for me. And plus, I'm really choosy about the games that I play.
Hmm.
I don't play like uh oh wait, I lie. There's a game that I hated recently.
It's all coming out now.
Pal World. I hated Pal
Oh, you
World.
didn't like Pal World? Oh no! And again, you've played so much Pokemon as well. So
I love Pokemon and I just hated Pal World.
oh no!
I really wanted to like it and I hated it.
Oh
I didn't put it
no!
on stream. I played it offline and I hated it. I hated everything about it. Like it was cool, the graphics were great, it was very beautiful. I just I couldn't get into it.
Mm,
The way that the crafting was set up was so annoying to me. The fact that you had to like go into the thing, click the thing, wait for it to process, and then like re-click it, but like you couldn't just click into like click the item to actually retrieve it. You had to click in to click the item. I was like, come on, can we not? It was just monotonous and
yeah.
boring. I just sorry, I hated it. I returned it. I like very rarely return games on Steam. I returned that game. I
Wow.
hated it. My God, that was like an awful game
Oof. Okay.
for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me. Like it's a beautifully done game, and
Hmm.
I like give props to the people who made it, but like I just did not. I couldn't vibe with it. It was just
No,
not my thing.
it's not for everyone, is it? That's for sure. Um, let's talk about your username. So where does again you own on Twitch, Curly?
Yeah,
You have the
nowhere else.
5-letter name. Well done. Did you have that
Thanks.
initially, or did you?
No,
No, I was going to
no,
say,
no,
yeah, especially when you've been streaming for 2 years, that would be
no.
impressive. So talk to us about your stream names, shall we say?
Sure. Yeah. So previously, I was Curly_dancer. And on I started had that because I was on Instagram as Curly_ballerina. And then I got some passive aggressive remarks about Curly_ballerina. Um, so let's just put it this way. The dance community is very they have points where they're very judgy of people.
Okay, right.
And like the word ballerina is held in a very high regard as like the top tier person in a dance company. And so me using that or calling myself a ballerina can be very offensive, and it's very gatekeepy in my opinion in the dance community,
Sure.
but that's like the mentality that they have about it is that it's their word and you can't use it. And I hated that. So instead of like dealing with all of that, I just went with Curly_dancer when I joined Twitch. And so like I just was like Curly Dancer. I think I was Curly Dancer on TikTok. I couldn't get Curly Dancer on Twitter, so I did Curly B Dancer, like Curly Ballet Dancer.
Don't tell them.
And then
That's what the B stands for.
and so like make them guess it.
What?
And so then when I got partner, I was like, I wonder if I can just remove the underscore because I hated the underscore. So I
Yeah.
reached out to Twitch and I was like, hey, do you guys have Curly available or Curly Dancer without the underscore? And they're like, Curly is available. I was like, because it was a retired name that
Yeah.
people hadn't used in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
took it. And people have freaked out all the time, being like, your name is so OG.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I was able to get it. I'm actually looking into seeing how I can claim it on other platforms, but it's a process.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm same with my journey on Johnny underscore. I've been streaming for 7 years, so people have gone, "How have you got Johnny underscore beard?" And I'm like, well, I don't know. I've been streaming for 7 years, so maybe that's what it is. But I don't want the underscore. I just want Johnny Beard. And doing that on other platforms
Isn't it
is
funny that
oh
people are like, they like the underscore, and then there's people who hate the underscore? I hate my underscore.
yeah,
I
same,
hate it.
same, yeah. I just want Johnny Beard on everything and everything. As far as I'm aware, no one else uses it, so let me have it. I've actually
Right?
tagged in people on Twitter, like, just give me your Johnny Beard, type of thing, but they don't get back to me, and they've not posted for like 6 years. I'm like, damn you, French Johnny Beard person.
I even tried to do curly underscore dancer, and like I tried to get it like on Twitter and other places, and it just like wasn't feasible. And I was like, well, this sucks. So I just stuck with curly B dancer on everything else.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So,
Yeah.
where did the curly come from? Is it an obvious question to ask?
Yeah. So
Is it as straightforward as?
I yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
Okay.
I think I had it. Honestly, like I think. Oh, you know what? My name used to be Devil Dancer.
Okay. Right.
Because I thought I was a cool kid who was dark and emo. I'm not. And so like I used to have it as Devil Dancer, and then when I started on Instagram, I changed my name to Curly underscore ballerina because that's when I started doing my curly hair journey, which was probably about 7 years ago.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Um, and I started wearing my hair curly instead of straightening it all the time. And I love my curly hair now. I love just the fact that it's just like natural and it just looks pretty. And it didn't always look this pretty because I used to straighten the crap out of my hair. But then I just embraced it and I was like, okay, this works. So I
Yeah.
went with curly dancer. And that's like, or curly ballerina. And that's just kind of like where I came from. So yeah, it just literally is because of my hair.
Yeah.
I was on that
Fantastic.
hair journey on Instagram and I was like, cool, let's just expand this.
Absolutely. Amazing.
So it became my identity.
Yeah. So streaming for, I still can't go for you to be streaming for 2 years. You're an absolute natural. I would have guessed maybe 4 or 5 years or something like that.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Um,
Yeah, I got partner in under a year.
That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. That's so impressive. Again, I'm sorry if you don't mind
you.
me saying. Like, I genuinely think that's
Thank you.
incredible. That says a lot, doesn't it? So again, you mentioned kind of the steps that led towards you going live for the first time about your husband and stuff like that as well. So, yeah, talk us a bit more about that journey then. So, how did you find out about Twitch? It was for your husband, but again, how maybe it's almost like a joint journey for you both almost. Yeah, just talk us a bit about the process that you've not talked about in terms of hitting that go live button.
Sure. So he hated his job, which he still hates. And he was like, if I can find something different, can I quit my job? I was like, sure. He was like, because I found out about Twitch. Because I think he was watching somebody on YouTube because he loves Skyrim. And so he was like that person who would do like different Skyrim runs and stuff like that. He's much more of a gamer than I ever was. So like I would literally watch him play games all the time and just like that was comforting to me. And so he would play Skyrim and he followed a YouTuber onto Twitch. He followed somebody from YouTube onto Twitch, and he was like, well, if I can, what amount of money do I need to make on Twitch for you to be okay? Because I'm literally the breadwinner in the house. And what kind of money do I need to make in order for me to be able to quit my job and get all of our income from streaming games on Twitch? And I told him the amount. So I was like, this is the amount you need to make, which if you guys know the amount of money that you need to make on Twitch, it was not a feasible amount. Or if it was something that was feasible, but it would take him quite a while to get to. So he was like, great. So he set up his first stream and he started streaming. And the first day he streamed to literally me and maybe like one other person. And I just remember him being like a deer in headlights. It was very cute. I was like, Drew, you gotta talk to people when you stream.
Oh, yeah.
And so like he slowly got really better, and like he was goofy and he was funny and just all this other stuff. But like the internet trolls is what really got to him, like the people who would come in and just be complete and utter assholes. And he just was kind of like, I'm not spending my time putting up with this. But I remember one day he wanted to stream, but he had to do an obligation and I was off of work. So I decided, I was like, you know what? Can I stream on your stream? And I'll play a game on your stream. So actually, that was literally the first time I ever played Elden Ring, was just
Wow.
on
Oh,
his
wow.
stream.
Yeah.
He gained so many more followers. He had the highest viewer count ever. And I did really, really, really well on his stream, basically. And I had a blast. I had a blast. And I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I
Yeah.
want to try this. And so I did it. I did it for my first time ever. I played Fallout 4, which was my first open world RPG ever. And it was amazing. I loved every minute of it. I loved it. I loved like just sitting there goofing off. It felt like it kind of went back to feeling like how I felt growing up with my brother, playing
Yeah.
video games with him. It felt like that. It had that reminiscent moment of like, I'm playing video games with friends in a room.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I loved that feeling. And it was just so much fun. And I just wanted to do more of it.
Yeah.
So like, I just was like, you know what? I'm going to start. I was going to do 1 day of streaming per week. And then I was like, I kind of want to do more. So I was like, I'll do 2 days of streaming per week. And then I turned to Drew and I was like, I want to do more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So then I started doing 3 days of streaming a week. And like that's my max because I work full time and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But like I love it. I love every minute of it and just having fun and playing games with my friends. And like that's always what it's felt like to me, which is why I like to be interactive and like talk to people through the game sequence because it's kind of like you're in a bedroom. But not actually a bedroom, playing games with your friends online,
Yeah.
escaping the parallel, the whole like, you know, it's not actually your friends kind of thing, and we can get into the whole idea of what is it called?
Oh, it's
Like parasocial
parasocial.
relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the same, but like when I started, I was streaming to like very few people who it was just me and them, and like these were actually people that I had called friends on stream, and so like that's what it was to me. And in a way, there are people who I still see who are still people that I would classify as friends who come in and we play the games together in that kind of way. So in a way, it's kind of very similar and vibey to that. But I like it. I like now that I get to help people out as well on their streams, and like people tell me all the time. I think the biggest compliment I get on stream is that you know they were having like a really shitty day, and then coming into my stream made them smile and made them happy. And like that is probably one of the biggest compliments I could say about my stream. When people say that to me, I don't care about the numbers, I don't care about the viewer count, I don't care about the followers. When somebody says that to me, it reminds me how much my streaming means.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. Wow. That's incredible. Wow. So what are some of your favorite memories then about what are some of the best memories about playing certain games or certain moments with your community over the last like couple of years or so?
I think some of the top ones, obviously getting partner, was probably one of the best things. And sometimes some of the worst things because there's a lot of pressure after you get partner.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
But so that was probably one of them. My charity streams are always something that surprise the crap out of me. My community is always so nice, and I love giving back to charity. So we do pretty regular charity streams, and every time they blow my expectations out of the water. Like I set the bar here, and they generally raise it to here. And yes, my arm is off screen on purpose. I think one year I like said that I was going to raise. One time I said like, if we can get to 1,500, that would be amazing. And they raised over $4,000. And I was like, what the?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so never underestimate your community because they'll do it. So every time I do a charity stream, I swear my chat blows it out of the water of any kind of expectation that I would ever do. And I think those are probably some of the things. But gaming wise, I'll have to say like whenever I finish a game and just the sense of completion joy mixed with pure sadness that it's over and I'm leaving that story behind, it's probably some of like the best and worst moments of a game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like finishing Fallout 4, finishing New Vegas. I remember finishing Cyberpunk made me cry like a baby. Oh, another good game I should have brought to the island. Oh, uh, like Cyberpunk made me cry like a freaking baby so many times in that game. Oh, what a good game. But all of those games, just finishing them and just exploring new worlds. I don't know, like those. It's really hard to choose one specific time
Yeah.
to think about all of those. But like,
But
I
collectively,
I do
yeah.
remember Cyberpunk. Collectively, like finishing those games and like
Yeah.
experience or even opening it for the first time, I
Yeah.
think is some of my favorite parts. So, which is probably why I have 6 games on that I'm playing simultaneously because I
Yeah.
can't stop opening new games.
So definitely, there's definitely worse habits, that's for sure. Oh
I need
wow.
to be better about it. I've been telling myself I need to stop opening new games and just finish the damn game.
Well, Curly, I've only got one more question for you, really.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's been where's the hour gone? I know. But
I know.
any advice you'd like to think about giving anyone thinking about streaming for the first time?
Yes. Yes. A couple of things. I feel like I could say a lot of things. Number one, ignore the numbers. They don't mean anything. They really don't. There's so many things that we are we see all of these numbers, we see like viewer count, follower count, all of these different things. Just turn it off. It doesn't mean anything at the end of the day because I know people who have way less followers, uh way less every CCV than I have, who are doing way better than me in terms of like they have sponsorships, they have all these different things. So your barometer for what is good about your stream, don't make it about the numbers, make it about the experience that you create and the things that you are proud of. Number one is like the biggest advice that I can give to anybody who is streaming for the first time. Ignore the numbers. Do it for yourself. Find a reason that's not about like anything other than just loving it and doing the art and the creation for yourself.
Yeah.
Number two, make sure that you know there are people who are willing to help you all the time and never be afraid to ask for help. I've had so many people help me through my journey, so many people who've taught me new things, and you can't do it all alone. You can't. There's just too much. And don't be afraid to ask for help. And the third thing I will say is never stop trying new things. Never stop exploring new ways for your stream. Never stop being excited about new things.
Yeah.
Because if you stop, that's when you plateau, and that's when you fall, and that's when you do worse. Explore new things. Try different things on your stream. Do a cooking stream. Do an IRL stream. Do something different. Like, explore new things. I just did a panel for the first time ever this weekend, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So keep trying new things.
100%.
Those are the top pieces of advice that I can give for people who are streaming for the first time.
Amazing. I do have one more question. I forgot to ask you earlier.
Yes.
I apologize. But before I say it, thank you. That was some great. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Great words
Yeah.
of wisdom, that's for sure. But no, forgot to ask you this. So we have a feature on the podcast where we ask a previous guest a question. Sorry, we ask a future guest a question from a guest from the past, but they don't know who they're asking. Yeah, time zones and times. So again, this person didn't know they were going to ask you the question, Curly. But yeah, the question I got for you from a previous stream on the podcast is, what are some self-care routines that you do after a stream? So it's a nice way to unwind and finish the podcast, actually, this question. So, yeah.
I drink wine and I snuggle my husband and my puppies.
And that's the end of the podcast.
Literally.
Thank you very much. That was perfect. Like, yeah, we're all going to drink wine and cuddle your husband as well, Curly. So, he just doesn't
You
know
and
it
every
yet.
single person else on my stream. Look, my husband's a snack, okay? Like, he's one good-looking man.
But yeah, that's a lovely self-care routine. That's for sure. Wow.
Thank you so much, though. This has been fun.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. One more time, Curly. Would you like to tell us where we can find you on your socials? Everyone go
Yeah.
follow Curly if you haven't already.
So I am Curly on Twitch. Everywhere else, I am Curly B Dancer. So that is TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as my email. But I stream on Monday and Wednesday evenings and Saturday super bright in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And so you guys can catch me on Twitch tonight, actually, too.
Let's go. Let's go.
Or
Oh.
whenever this is, sometime whenever this is,
Sometime
it's a
in the
Monday.
future. Yeah.
Sometime in the future.
What are we talking about? This is live. No. Curly, you're wonderful. Oh,
Used to
I
it.
loved talking to you. You were amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, JB. I really appreciate you having me.
Hell yeah.
Thank
hell
you.
yeah. And thanks for watching / listening. Take care, everyone. Until the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.